laying on the floor. There she is, laying on the floor there. I was just giving her a back massage a minute ago. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about something which has been a big thing. I've been talking about this on all of my social platforms today, Facebook and Snapchat. Instagram, I actually didn't, weirdly, but anyway, it's something I've been big on today, podcast, which is all about a very effective framework for learning languages. And it's a framework that I've never really phrased it this way. It's a framework that I've never talked about in this sense. It's really funny. I see my sister's like foot right there. Nasikataro pug chipug. Anyway, and this framework is about she's laughing and I can't stop laughing. Um, and this Sika, I'm making a video and you're laughing at me. And the framework is all about scoring the most amount of points. What I mean by that is when you're studying a specific language, you want to. Hey, anyway, you want to study that language in a way that's going to score you the most amount of points. Let me give you a couple different practical examples because I do realize this is not necessarily a super common concept. Hey Andy, how's it going in the live chat? So for example, let's say you are a student, okay? As a student, the things that are going to score you the most amount of points is to be, first of all, focusing on your writing, focusing on grammar, conjugations, focusing on doing well on your tests, focusing on being able to read something and respond to questions. Like things like that is what's going to reward you for your efforts. When you're doing that, you're going to get good marks and people are going to think you're smart. You're going to be successful in the system. Another example could be perhaps you're someone who is learning a language for like you have like, how do I say this? You have a part in a play. There we go. We got there. You have a part in a play and you have to say a specific chunk in like a different language. Well, in that case, what's going to score you the most is to learn that part, pronounce it well, do all of that extremely well. So everybody's got different purposes and different reasons for learning language or languages that they are learning. But the thing is that we have to think about how can I tackle this language in a way that's going to allow me to maximize the upside, maximize the personal benefits for myself. So, and it's a really challenging question because it's different for everyone. So, for example, let's say you are, like let's say you're learning for work purposes. What do you need to be studying to maximize the benefit? Who the heck knows? That's the hard part. Like even like we can go in some really rogue, really crazy directions. Like for example, I used to be working months ago with a person who was learning French for corporate reasons, businessy reasons. He worked with people that were francophone, and he told me very flat out, Azren, I don't think I'm going to get to be fluent in a very not in like a very fast period of time. It's going to take me time and practice and effort, all that stuff. So that's not my goal. I want to be able to learn the things that are going to maximize the connection and the benefit, the connection and the relationship with the francophone people that I work with. And so we're thinking about things like, okay, well, you're going to present awards to these people because they report to you. Maybe we need to look at how you can incorporate French into your speech. Things like that, right? All of a sudden, when you do that, it's going to, when you incorporate, and for my previous French student, if I teach him how he can incorporate a couple of French things into his award speech, excuse me, his people that report to him that are francophone are going to be like, wow, are going to respect him a heck of a lot more. Especially, it's funny. This is almost kind of a repeat of a podcast I did today, but today's the day where I'm not making unique content like this. I'm sticking my content around this one topic because I feel like it's important, right? It's especially because nobody expects you to learn another language. Nobody does. Not really, not in most scenarios. Unless you've lived in a country for a long time, perhaps people would expect you to know. Or perhaps you have a job where you need to know English, you should know English. But like, if you just travel somewhere for general purposes, like you don't generally need to know, no one's really expecting you to be really good or to know a specific language. As a result, when you know something, right? immediately people view you more positively. Immediately you have scored some points because you did something that exceeded expectations, if that makes any sense. And so what you're doing immediately just by learning a language, you're already exceeding expectations. So the next step is now going, okay, I've exceeded expectations. How do I'm reading all your chats at the same time as talking, Andy. Then it's trying to figure out, okay, I've been being repetitive, but I want to drill this in. Then it's trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to structure my studies? What do I want to study? What do I want to focus on in order to, again, I've said it a bunch of times, maximize the benefit that you're getting. So that's the question I want everybody to be asking themselves and thinking about, right? That's what you need to be thinking about. So like Andy, for example, wrote in the live chat, if I become a tour guide, I need to master reading first so I can read about history in my target language. Then he'll need to do public speaking in that language. And finally, he'll need to learn pronunciation so people can understand him, right? So as a tour guide, that's exactly right. You have to be able to read, then you have to be able to do some public speaking, and then you have to be able to, probably at the same time or relatively similar timing, you have to be able to do the correct pronunciation so that you're understood. So absolutely, it's thinking through that to go, what's going to help me have the most success? What do I need to study first, second, third, fourth? So anyway, that's the rant here. I'll answer a quick question that came through in the chat before I wrap up the live stream. Azren, I've been learning English, but I am feeling stuck on time and don't get nothing. Can you tell me it? I'm gonna try and dissect what he's saying. I think what he's trying to ask is he's feeling like he doesn't have time and he's not able to find time to do it. I think that's what he's saying. We've had this conversation before. I think this person, if I remember correctly, I've had this conversation with the person who made the comment. If you don't have time, either there's a bunch of options, but you need to make time. I'm learning more, nothing. So you're putting, okay, so there's two potential ways to take this question. I'm not sure. Option one, if you don't have time to study, you need to make time. You're going to have to cut something out to add time, to make time in your schedule. Figure that out. If you can't figure it out, looks like you can't complain about your level. That's just reality. Or sleep an hour less. That's another option to do it. Like if you really don't have time, you got to cut something out. TV, I don't know, like some other equipment you have, less, I don't know, like it's one of the things, right? Something has to go if you really don't have time. Or you've got to figure out how to manage your time better. Now, if what you're actually saying, I'm not sure how to interpret your question, if you are saying that you're studying, but you feel like you're not learning anything, well, that's a different picture. Then you need to look at why you're not learning anything. Is it because you're not studying in a way that's conducive for you? Is it because you are, I don't know, is it because you're looking at material that's too easy or too hard? Is it because you're not actually applying the learning you're doing? So for example, if you look at the actually this is potentially good answer for you, I'm not sure, but potentially something for you to look at is watch the last video I made. It is a 5-minute language chat. One thing we talked about is learning a language, learning stuff, but then learning and putting yourselves in situations where you need to actually apply that knowledge. For example, my sister's still laughing at me. For example, if you are trying to improve your writing, find people online that you can actually send messages to and like talk to. Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever, WeChat, or not WeChat, sorry. Hello Talk, things like that. Because then if you make a mistake, there's some real stakes. You make a mistake, they might not understand. You're actually applying it, right? So, and actually, yeah, he just followed up with the comments. Because I've been learning by myself, and where I live, there's no one that speaks English, and I just have YouTube and Facebook to learn. Sad. No, not sad. Stop complaining. No, not sad. There's an internet now. You can find lots of people on the internet that will practice English with you, both in text form and spoken form. italki.com. Hello Talk is an application. I don't know where you are in the world, but you can also do couch surfing. You can offer your place as a couch surfing, meet people that way depending on where you are. Another great hack, forums. Find forums around your interests. Become a part of those forums. That's a great way to practice. Yeah, like, exactly. We didn't have YouTube and Facebook when I started learning, Andy says. we just had books and audio cassettes. Yeah, that's real talk. Like with the internet, you can't, that's not a valid reason anymore. That's unfortunately that it's not valid. I'm telling you, no more dot 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 sad. No, 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 no. No more dot 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 sad. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to say that. You all have the internet now. There's no more excuses. You cannot just say, I'm learning by myself and blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting at home, blah, blah, boo is me. No. No. Just no. By the way, hey, Enigma, I saw you in the chat. No. Just no. I think that's a good place to end it. See you guys. Excellent. What a funny ending.